Congresswoman Ilhan Omar is a bigot. She supports the anti-Semitic BDS movement that does not think Israel has a right to exist. Ilhan Omar compared Israel to Nazi Germany just yesterday. She spoke at a conference this year sponsored by the Council on American Islamic Relations, who was an unindicted co-conspirator in the largest terror financing prosecution in U.S. history. Ilhan Omar once tweeted that Jews and Israel have hypnotized the world. Omar claimed that any U.S. politician who supports Israel was bought off by the Jews. She says their support for Israel is all about the Benjamins. Ilhan Omar laughed about al-Qaeda during an interview and asked why we don't talk about the U.S. the same way we talk about al-Qaeda. You know, the terror organization that waged the 9/11 terror attacks against us and killed 3,000 people. Ilhan Omar then dismissed 9/11 as some people did something. She supports Venezuelan dictator Nicolas Maduro. In fact, Ilhan Omar blames the U.S. for Maduro's tyranny and oppression as the Maduro regime murders dissidents in the street if they dare to protest or criticize him. Ilhan Omar is also pushing the Green New Deal in Congress, which would transform the United States into a socialist state and force you to pay for other people's universal basic income if they don't want to work. It would also ban fossil fuels and force you to retrofit your house to be green and prohibit or penalize air travel. Ilhan Omar supports Medicare for All, which would force 150 million people off their current healthcare plans and cost 1 million Americans their jobs, and force tax hikes on the middle class. In fact, Omar wants to force you to be a part of Medicare for All because she thinks she knows what's best for you. At the same time, she's introducing a bill in Congress pushing the BDS movement that literally says what's best for Israel is for Israel not to have the right to exist. Imagine this woman having power over your health care. And speaking of the right to exist, Ilhan Omar glorifies abortion without restriction up until the moment of birth. And after all this, when Omar was asked if she regrets her vile anti-Semitic comments that even drew condemnation from Nancy Pelosi, Omar says, nope. This is why Ilhan Omar only has 9% approval rating among swing voters in our country, because Omar's views are bigoted and racist and socialist and radical and utterly antithetical to the values on which this nation was built: freedom and liberty and justice for all. So chant, vote her out. Do not chant, send her back. She's a citizen of the United States. This is her home. Do not distract from her bigotry. Chant, vote her out, and then do it. Vote her out of office before she imposes her disgusting bigotry on our nation. And that is my final points.